The most spiritual thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Not using illegal drugs. Outside of that, was I was laying in the back of my truck bed, and my grandmother comes up to me and she's talking to me about how much she missed me and how happy she was to see me. And
nice.
I talked to her because, I love my grandma very much. And then she leaves. She says she's going to go inside and she's going to bake me something. And then I get a phone call from my father letting me know that he was at my grandma's bedside and she just died in the hospital. And I was like, okay, well, that was a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I remember that very vividly. It happened when I was 18 years old. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, well, maybe spirits do exist, or maybe I'm just fucking crazy. But it was an experience that was unlike anything else I've ever experienced before. Now, was it real? No, probably not. Was I very tired? Oh, absolutely. And it was a very dark point in my life, so maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But the fact that my mind could play a trick on me that specifically has stuck with me for a very long time.
Is it that specific?
Yep.
I don't think it is.
It's the same thing when my cat died. Same thing. Well, around deaths, very strange things happen.
Well, of course they do, because your mind is trying to make sense out of it.
Exactly. And I think
so you're thinking about it in a context like that.
Yeah, because like the fact that my mind could be tricked that much is just insane to me.
Really? I think there's plenty of people that get convinced to do stupid shit all the time. It's not surprising.
Exactly. So I'm like, how is it capable of doing that? Giving people memories so specific, so real. Like when my cat died, I could feel him on my shoulder and like see him and still see him running around my house.
Well, there are experiments done when a person is given. So are you familiar with the idea of phantom limb syndrome?
Absolutely. You get a limb cut off, you can still feel the pain that remains.
And so you can actually simulate that same type of interaction or like that feeling, even without having a limb removed. And it's about simulating different types of responses and things, and then trying to mirror those with your actual limb, and your brain will convince yourself that you're on the other limb.
100%. Yeah, like the one where like you like make it to where a person can't see their arm, and then you see all this. Because I find it so interesting the way the human mind works.
Yeah, and so just because somebody thinks something doesn't make it real.
Exactly, but the fact that it will seem real to them is what I find so interesting.
I don't know. Why is that interesting?
Well, because it's like, for example,
I've seen a cat walk up to the mirror and get mad. Well, you dumb motherfucker. What the hell are you thinking about? So, what are you thinking about, Gibbon? That's you idiot.
Yeah, but it's like, have you, I hung out with a lot of people who did like marijuana and shit. You ever seen somebody green out in real life?
Green out?
Yeah.
I guess.
Don't you ever find it so interesting, the things that they can see and the things they hear when they're like underneath the influence of just marijuana?
No, because I don't think that any of it is unique or special, because none of it offers... Say what?
Oh, you got to be careful saying that.
It's not.
No, I'm just saying, you know what? It's an XQC Kai clip. You probably haven't seen it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not, because none of them are able to intuit anything that is of any benefit at all. And I think that's the reason why I don't believe it. And so the moment that somebody can do this and actually come out of it in a way that's beneficial, it's like, if somebody comes up tomorrow and they said, I've come up with the idea of like how to create time travel, and you ask them how, and they say, it came to me in a dream.
Yep.
And then they invent time travel.
Yep.
I would think to myself, holy shit, what the fuck is going on?
Absolutely.
But the problem is that the people that say it came to me in a dream are the ones that decide to light their hair on fire in the middle of a McDonald's. And I'm like, well, this doesn't really benefit anybody, does it?
It doesn't, but don't you think it's compelling or interesting just to merely talk to people who are fucking nuts? Because that's kind of what you do on Channel Days. People who are crazy.
I do. I like knowing the way that people are crazy, because I think if you understand enough crazy people, you understand the way that you can like kind of predict people to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like for example,
it's like doing different boss fights. You learn the mechanics.
It's like so for example, like 2 weeks ago, we both had a pretty bad experience with our health.
I did.
Yeah, and so I had convinced myself that my brain no longer worked.
Yeah.
And that World War I or World War II was in the 1800s. But the only thing that could play through my mind was the Tokyo Revengers opening song.
Right.
And I couldn't do anything else.
Uh-huh.
Right. And I find it so interesting how I had fully accepted, in that moment, I had fully accepted my death. I had given away the rights to my channel to one of my closest friends, Laurel. And for the span of 2.5 hours, I swear to God, I was gone. And my view of the world changed dramatically. Just like how you convinced yourself that your soda and your blood pressure was going to be the death of you.
Well, it's not really that it's a convincing argument. The convincing argument is taking your blood pressure and it says 173.
Did it say that?
Yeah, it did.
That's horrifying.
It was.
Is it because of sugar?
I don't think so. I think this is stress. It's stress. It was 194 one time.
I think I fell asleep for like 5 minutes too.
You
I was
didn't miss
talking.
it.
You didn't miss
you
anything.
really didn't miss
You
anything.
missed
No, I
everything.
woke up and you guys were talking about drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.